Hello everybody and welcome to another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be bringing you my thoughts on the Rise of Industry game that just came out in early access for the past few days or so. Now I have played it a bit on stream and I did give you guys some of the ideas that I had about it, but this is going to be a bit more in depth, although hopefully not that as long or not nearly as long. So let's just go ahead and get into the settings a bit. The game is in early access, so you don't have that many settings, which is to be expected. But still, they have some pretty nice settings over here. I mean, graphics-wise, almost everything you could need out of such a simplistic, graphically speaking, game. Um, how do I exit out of the settings? New game. Okay, so you have to select a new game in order to get to this menu, which is a bit counterintuitive, as you would expect this to be the main menu. Regarding the types of games that you can play, there's the career, which actually isn't a career because you just select the difficulty. Then there's the free play, which also has difficulty for some interesting reason, although there's no tech tree or progression impediment, so okay. I'm guessing you have all the you have to still make the money, but you don't have to research anything. Then there's a custom game which has a high amount of well, I wouldn't say high compared to Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, for example. It's not high, but it's a sufficient amount of generation options. You also can go into the advanced settings and you can set all sorts of stuff like resource amount and city generation and coasts and everything like that. Even the hill heights and the amounts the hill start. I have no idea what that would mean. Anyway, tech tree, everything. So I'm actually quite happy with this, so I can't actually say anything. The tutorial I've already played in the stream that I've done, so you can go and check that out if you'd like to. And let me just go ahead and continue the game that I was playing today, where I'm actually I've progressed quite a little. I'd say maybe a bit more than a quarter or somewhere around a quarter of the tech tree. Um, this is on the veteran difficulty, which I have no idea what it means. I would have expected it to mean that trucks. Oh, let's slow down a bit. I would have expected it to mean that trucks can't actually clip through each other, but still they do, as you can see. So right off the bat, let me just start off with saying that I actually like the graphic style of the game. It looks and it moves wonderfully. I mean, sure, some small quirks and improvements could be made, but I'm really happy with it, and because of the fact that you can actually rotate the camera around, this being a full 3D game, it's really not bad, and even the smoke stays in the same direction, so it's not a faked or forced 3D perspective, but I still like the original like this. Anyway, so I did enjoy the game up to now. Graphically it looks good. The tech tree and all of the coming soon industries look interesting. I would love to see more tiers, or I don't know. I think that all of these upgrades over here that you automatically get when you fill, and by filling I mean you allocate 3 points in it, you get all of this good stuff over here, which is a bit overpowered, I'm feeling, or not really overpowered, but it makes it feel like it's cheap upgrades that don't actually do anything for you. Although they actually do obviously improve the running of your company. What else? Let's get over what I like. So I like the fact that there are regions and you have to buy permits. This is actually realistic, and I enjoy that. I like the fact that each region is focused around something. Like for example, this region is completely focused around agriculture, and I did actually make my own company farms. Let's say farms and orchards over here. I would have liked if, because this is not all mine, like these three in the middle, these four in the middle don't belong to me. So I would have liked the option for the player to have player colors, so that you can see which buildings, which industries are yours and which aren't. That would obviously be great, and the ones that belong to the AI, or I don't know, it's improper set AI, and I'm going to get to this point a bit later on. But the ones that don't belong to you shouldn't be, the same color, so that it's easier for you to see. I'm happy that you can switch the name of these farms, because sometimes you do want to have better naming schemes. What else do I like? Well, I haven't gotten yet to transport, or I actually could build a train terminal, and I might just do it just to see how it looks like and how it feels. But up until now, I've only used the the oh, and I actually would be so even if I get it, it's not going to help me at all, because everything that in order for me to connect the cities and stuff, I will need oh, I've got 1 point here. I would need tunnels and bridges, and I don't have that yet. It's still locked, so that wouldn't help me. I'm guessing it's the same with trucks. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if trains didn't stack when trucks do stack. So yeah, probably nothing interesting over there. Anything else that I do enjoy about the game? Well, I kind of like and I kind of don't like at the same time the fact that trucks and transport in general is very easily taken care of by actually just telling your buildings where to send their goods, and assigning the amount of trucks that you want them to use in order to send the goods. So I'm guessing that all local transport, even to the railway stations or the boat stations or whatever, is going to be done by truck, which is kind of realistic, I'm not going to lie, although there are plenty of places in this world that use other transportation, like you can have a railway station in the middle of a farm or stuff like that. Speaking of farms, let's just go ahead and get another upgrade over here. I was thinking of well, I can't spend all of these. I actually can spend 2 more points over here, so let's just get let's get cows and sheep. And this means that this production can be now set to either cows and sheep. Cows have the advantage of also creating leather, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now, because that's just one extra thing that they are creating. Oh, and milk instead of eggs. Okay, actually that does make sense, doesn't it, that they'd be making milk instead of eggs. So let's send the meat to the local grocery store over here. 2 trucks should be enough. Let's send the milk as well. 2 trucks should be enough. And can I actually send... No. So I can't do anything right now with the leather except export it to another state. Let's just try that, yeah, because I've never tried it and I'm actually quite interested to know what that actually does, because it's the exit is right over here, so I should be able to catch that. Okay, so the transport being simplified in that you just look at this. This isn't, I mean, you need truck collision for more advanced plays, right? So I'm hoping that the developers are working on that or thinking about implementing it, because this just feels like a sandbox right now, and the game is great up until now, but I don't want it to stay in this state. I want it to progress. hopefully. And this is why I'm making this video. I'm hoping that my criticism is going to be constructive. We'll see. Oh, and again, bankruptcy. Oh no, you no longer have any money. We're going to check it in August to make sure that it's positive always. You will have to claim current bankruptcy. I don't remember actually claiming bankruptcy, so I don't know if that actually works or is implemented at this point. But I should be okay. I just okay, actually, why am I not okay? Interesting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Probably because I switched production over here. I still have stuff. Yes, I do. Actually, still have 1 eggs. Anyway. Okay, so let's get to the things that are not there yet or annoy me. Obviously, the one about transportation has already been said. Another point which is slightly inconvenient, but I hope that this will be getting upgraded or fixed in the future, is the fact that the financial spreadsheet over here is way too simplistic for you to know anything about your company. You basically just get, you know, the plus and the minus, but you don't get anything regarding you know, I'd like to know if my crop farms are making how many units of what, and if I have some stockpiles anywhere, like a general inventory would be also good to know or good to have, you know, stuff like that. So that should also be getting updated, in my opinion, at least. The fact that you can build bridges and tunnels so late, and I actually mean this is late in the game, like I'm currently at year 12 and I could have gotten the bridges and tunnels a lot faster, but you actually need all of these other small upgrades. Like, okay, the trade dispatch cost, maybe not, but dispatch slots on buildings, you definitely need it. Dispatch vehicles on every building, you definitely need it. And I don't see why these are tiered or locked behind upgrades, as I don't know, you should maybe remodel transportation to be like, okay, let's have a truck station like the truck depot, and the truck depot has a certain amount of maximum trucks available that it makes it available for the industries within a certain radius, right? So that would mean that the camps, the piers, or the farms or the industries themselves don't have trucks. They have to rely on truck depots in the nearby area in order for them to get the trucks that they need. So you would obviously have more trucks available per truck depot, but the industries would be using them in order to send the the goods around, right? So that is like something that I would probably enjoy more. We'll see. I'm not sure right now, but you know, it's just an idea. Another thing is that cities grow quite fast. I mean, a lot faster than I was expecting. This is okay, this is 12 years, but you have to imagine that when I started out, this city was this size. It was like a quarter, even maybe even less than a quarter when I first started out, right? And that's another pet peeve. I mean, the cities do grow quite fast. I understand that you're helping them grow by it actually missed. Wait 1 second. Right, so it seems like they're not sending. Seems like they're not sending the goods right now. Anyway, cities do grow, and I like the fact that they do, but it's just too fast at this moment. I would slow down city growth to about half at this point. I mean, this game is about 2 hours in, which is 12 years, because I was playing it on the very fast difficulty when I wasn't building or anything, and these cities just exploded. So at this rate, they're probably going to be like a big percentage of the whole map within another 10 years or so, if they continue growing at this rate, or maybe have them grow faster when they're small and cut off growth or decelerate it when it starts getting to a certain size, right? Maybe that would also be a good idea. Anyway, good. So another problem. Hmm. Uh, the AI, which is improperly called the AI because it's not really an AI. The game itself or the cities themselves put down industries and they start building stuff. They also have access to higher technology than you would ever have, which I guess that should be not ever have, that you currently have. And I guess that should be required in order for the experience to be challenging, and I do understand it. So that is okay. But the fact that they put down industries, which I don't know, I mean, this paper mill isn't getting any wood or anything, so they're just cheating, outright cheating. There's no trucks going with cardboard, cardboard or paper to the bookstore that I'm seeing at least, and they're still making books and they're just shipping them in the okay. So not in this city because the city actually is buying everything. Let's see if they're buying books. Where's the bookstore? Is there a bookstore over here? No, there's not. Anyway, let's just... Oh, there is a bookstore. There we go. And do they have books? Not that I can tell of. So there are some trucks running between cities and between industries, but not as many as you'd expect. Oh, and they're actually closed down. Okay. Right, so these industries eventually close down because they're not profitable or they could never be profitable. And the most annoying part about this is that you can't actually buy them, or you can't, make them go bankrupt and just, disappear off the map. So this should definitely be added. I hope that it's in the works, because it's not realistic. Again, it's just these industries are just here to inconvenience you, like physically on the map by taking up space, and then financially in the market by selling goods. Because, like, for example, this fisherman is not mine, right? This is my fisherman, and these guys are working and they're just sending one truck of fish every, I don't know, 15 days or so. I don't remember. I think it's 10 days. Yeah, so maybe every 10 days. And they're just, fishing. Although I couldn't set my fisheries in the shallow water, so this is quite interesting to see. I had to put it in the deeper water. My fishing, what are they called? Pier? Is the pier? I don't know if it's a pier. Anyway, so yeah, that's quite annoying. The fact that the industries that spawn across the map are just there to inconvenience you, but nothing more. You can't actually maneuver with them, like buy them or make them go bankrupt. There's no AI behind them that is trying to make you go bankrupt or take as much of the market share as possible. So that's also not realistic, but I'm hoping that the guys are working, the developers are working on it. What else? Yeah, what else? The tech tree. Whenever I want to build something new, for example, let's say that I want to invest in getting the preservation factor. It just says can build preservation factories, unlocks soup, right? So it would be very helpful if you could also list the things that make soup, because for newer players it's quite interesting, because you do have this recipe book and you have to go into factories, and that's a preservation factory, and then there we go, soup. So here we can see that you need vegetables, water and cans. You make soup. Okay, that's kind of great, because you do need this obviously, but it would also help if under soup it would also say, you know, soup requires this and this and that, right? Because when you get a paper mill or when you get a farm, it says unlocks wheat, and you know that's the raw material that you can then use in other industries, right? But for example, unlocks chickens, by clicking on the farm, the livestock farm, doesn't say that you'll need wheat, right? It just says that it unlocks chickens. So that's not interesting or not good, so to say. The same with coal mine. It says you can build a coal mine, which obviously unlocks coal, but you have no idea who uses coal or why or for what, right? The same here. You can unlock let's say that we unlock the preservation factory and we already know what soup is, and that, you know, you can make soup from that. But then you are going to pick an upgrade, the second tier for this factory, and it's going to be candy factory, which is going to make candied apples, orange marmalade, and orange soda. So, you know, you can right off the bat tell from the name that, okay, so this is probably going to need apples and oranges for the other two, but with what? What is going to be also needed, right? So candied apples is also going to need sugar, and it's also going to need cotton, for example. And orange marmalade, okay, same thing. Orange soda it's going to need bottles and also sugar. So it would be very helpful if there were some tooltips over here that could help you, because obviously a more experienced player is going to know those things by heart, but it is quite annoying to start off and not know them at all. Okay, so I think that this should do it for now. These are the biggest problems that I have with the game until now. I'm looking forward to the new updates. I'm looking forward to any new content that they're bringing. I'd love to see music and sports, and maybe I'd love to see some international peers where you can export your goods to, right? So, you know, like place them here and have you know, the ability to export stuff or make a trade route from inland where you have lots of farms to the pier, so that you can export goods and food and whatever. So that would also be nice to see. The amount of goods and raw materials is, I would say, sufficient, mainly, but I'm guessing that more can be added in the future, and more will be added in the future. I just really hope that they are going to take into consideration the points that I've made, and that they're going to make this game feel a bit more realistic. Also something that would maybe need to be taken care of or taken into consideration is the fact that raw materials and production is quite slow, right? So I can understand that making apples takes a bit longer than, you know, just getting water out of the ground, but again, you'll need to have some experience with the game in order for you to understand that, like, one water siphon with 5 piers, or whatever they're called, yeah, water siphon, yeah, whatever, are going to make you enough water for 4 paper mills and an orchard. Like, more than enough, properly enough, right? Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I think that was it. Final conclusion is I love the game until now. I hope that it's going to be taken to, you know, better management. How should I call this? Not better, more in-depth management strategies. And I hope that they are thinking about multiplayer or something along those lines, or maybe if not multiplayer, at least a single player campaign that is meaningful and has you work with, you know, like not the whole tech tree through each mission, like several missions with, you know, spawned out across time, so to say, so that you start off small and you end up, you know, going into a big city. And yeah, also something that I'd like to know, must be built on non-block tiles. Yeah, so you can't actually just plop stuff on top of other things that are already built. This is something that I wish more management would take into consideration. This is just an idea of mine, but maybe, just maybe, there should be the option for you to plop a planned building, you know, like select a planned location and say, look, so we're trying to build a railway station here. We think that it's going to improve this and that, and it's going to be beneficial to the city, and that the city in time gets to approve your project and you get to build like in or wherever you want on the map, which is something that actually really happens in real life. So, you know, something that should also be taken into consideration. But yeah, so generally speaking, I enjoyed this game. I think that I'm going to get a lot more hours out of it until I progress at least once through all of this tech tree and see everything through. But that isn't going to give it the longevity that it needs to succeed as a game these days. I'm sorry, that might sound harsh, but it's, you know, it's the truth. And I really do hope that they make it a lot better when it comes to managing your stuff, AI, maybe multiplayer, and yeah, stuff along those lines. Right, so thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, leave a like if you did like the video, subscribe if you would like to see more of this content. You know the jazz. Right, so see ya.